As Tropical Storm Debby approached the Big Bend region of Florida, anxiety rippled through the small community of Tallahassee. The sky darkened, and the air grew heavy with moisture and anticipation. To the residents, it felt like the calm before a storm whose fury they could only imagine. The local meteorologist, Kate Reynolds, became a beacon of information and reassurance, updating the townsfolk on what to expect. Her voice crackled over the radio. Debby is expected to bring heavy rains and gusty winds. Ensure your homes are secured, and remember, safety first. Families were busy boarding up windows, gathering supplies, and securing outdoor furniture. Meanwhile, the storm's eye loomed ever closer on the radar screens. Ben Parker, a rugged fisherman who had lived in Tallahassee his entire life, prepared his boat for the worst. He had weathered many storms but never let his guard down. "The ocean is unpredictable, just like Debby," he muttered to himself, tying down the sails with determined precision. Across town, Maria Gonzalez, a high school teacher, packed an emergency kit for her family. Flashlights, batteries, canned food, and water filled their small living room. Her children watched with wide eyes, sensing the gravity of the situation. She tried to keep her tone upbeat. "We're just being cautious, kids. It's always good to be prepared." As night fell, the winds picked up, howling through the trees and shaking the power lines. Streetlights flickered and finally went out, plunging the town into darkness. Shelter-in-place orders were in effect, and streets that were usually lively now lay eerily silent. The storm made its presence known, battering homes with relentless rain and powerful gusts. Roofs creaked, and trees bent under the force, some snapping and falling with a resounding crash. Inside their homes, residents clung to each other, listening to the storm's roar and hoping their preparations would hold. Hours felt like days, but eventually, the winds began to subside, and the rain eased. Morning arrived with a tentative calm. The streets were strewn with fallen branches and debris, the aftermath of Debby's wrath. But the spirit of Tallahassee was unbroken. Neighbors emerged from their homes, checking on each other and starting the long process of cleanup. Kate Reynolds, now haggard from the sleepless night, delivered her final report on Debby. "The storm has passed, but let's remain vigilant. We've faced this together, and together we'll rebuild." Ben set to work repairing his boat, already planning his next fishing trip. Maria's children helped collect branches, their faces lit with relief and determination. Despite the storm's impact, the community's resilience shone through. Tallahassee had weathered the storm, proving once again that unity and preparedness could stand up to even the fiercest of tempests.